Mickey with CarryTrainer.com, and we are here to talk about how I broke this the other day and what did we have to do to get it working again. First things first, I am in a safe space. Nobody's behind the camera. I am filming alone. The guns are cleared out, and I just did a part swap on this, and I want to talk about it. So this is a Glock 48, this one with a little work by Boresight Solutions. Caveat to that, the guns that I use for the most part are all stock on the inside. This has some stippling work on the frame that Ben did. This is called his Razorback. It kind of makes that fill a man's hand a little better. It's got a trigger shoe from Apex, but all the stuff back here in the slide is all stock. The barrel stock, the recoil spring stock, the striker stock, all of that spring work on the inside of the gun is stock. I do have a Tango down slide lock lever. I've got an aftermarket mag release because we use the steel mags from Shield Arms. I've done some videos on that, and if you use those steel magazines and you keep the original OEM plastic mag catch in the gun or composite, it'll chew it up and destroy it in no time at all. It'll eat the mags up. Conversely, if you keep these metal mag catches in and you switch to a stock Glock mag, it will chew the mag up. It's just not a good fit. So I only tell you all that because this is basically a stock gun inside for all intents and purposes. What broke? Well, here's the culprit. We got these. These are called springs, right? Here's the recoil spring, and here is the striker spring. I've got another brand new striker spring here, and I'm going to open this one. I'm going to show you them side by side. There's not a lot that you're going to see. Now, this was secondary to the main part. Here's the new one unopened, or just that I just take it out of the pack. And here is the worn out one. And you will see, check this out. Let me make sure they're lined up perfect right there. Pardon me. So you can see the one on this side is the new one. Can you see that it is, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch longer? Compression, right? Springs are not worn out because they are compressed. They are worn out because of being cycled. There are stories of magazines that have been sitting in armories. The military has AR mags and things like that that have been compressed for decades, and they reliably feed after sitting loaded for decades. It's the cycling that wears it out. So my striker, the firing pin was worn out. These are a whopping $5 from the Glock store. They don't give me this stuff. I paid for it, had it shipped. And then this dude. So there's a lot of little bits in the recoil spring. And you say, well, wait a minute. Why would a recoil spring have anything to do with light primer strikes? Well, quite a bit. The recoil spring is not just giving you a certain feel. As that recoil spring wears out, let's just say the gun was loaded. We fired it. Gun goes off. For a moment, the recoil spring's got a job. It is slow this slide down enough, allowing it to go to the rear of its path to strip a new round and then close the slide, putting the gun into battery, stripping that new round off the magazine, getting everything set up. If it's wore out, and even if it's going into battery like this, where it is fully locked up, if it's wore out, this is beating the snot out of the gun. One, it's going to increase the rearward travel speed because there's not as much spring pressure to slow it down. So you have that inertial pressure of the slide coming back. So recoil is going to feel more rearward pressure. Then as it goes forward, it is going to want to slam forward with less energy than it would otherwise because the springs wore out. So you may end up with this dude slightly out of lockup. Now check this out. So the gun right now is cocked, right? So I can cock it. When I press the trigger, it should depress. Check this out. I'm gonna move it right up here to the camera. I can get it a little bit out of battery. Do you see that rearward travel? So it's out of battery, in battery, out of battery. Watch this. It's still fired. Even though everything's set up, that's not an out of battery detonation because it's locked up. See that? So I'm just slightly unlocking it. We're we're disconnecting enough parts in the system that as that striker goes forward, its energy is not just slamming into the primer, its energy is now also causing, from the forward motion of the primer, it's literally like a push to the slide. So it's robbing the energy from the striker, from the primer, and putting it into forward travel. So instead of it slamming against this wall of the primer, it's going boop, and the whole slide's moving. Does that make sense? So this was a dual problem. So I'm replacing both of these. By the way, it was 20 bucks for a stock spring. I like stock stuff for these because they work. What's the cyclage rate? How long till you should cycle these out? People say about 5,000 rounds for this. And the way I see it, for $5, even though this lasts a lot longer, for $5, I'm going to just do them both, right? So instead of 20 bucks, it's now 25 bucks. And the two most important springs in the gun I know are working right. What about all the other springs? And what springs am I talking about? Well, let's take a look at those. So we've got a lot of little bits and pieces. We've got a spring. I'm going to use, this is a Tango down tool that I'm just going to use to point at stuff. These platforms don't like us talking about how to actually do the maintenance. I want you to look that stuff up. But you've got two springs involved with this section here. We've got one in this safety mechanism, and then we've got the plunger and spring that's here. Both of those could need to be replaced. You're not going to see the same wear with those because there's not the same forces acting on them as on these main two springs, but they are something that needs replacement. Then down in the lower, we've got all kinds of stuff, right? We've got springs here. I have broke the spring on a mag release numerous times, and it's a piece of spring steel that lives up in here. Those wear out, and it's pretty annoying if they wear out because the whole thing's going to fall apart if that cracks. And I've had it happen a few times, oftentimes from dry fire. So you get the spring involved with the trigger reset. You've got a little spring right in here that's making that safety work, and those things wear out. And then you've got some bits back here. Again, I'm not trying to go into how to maintain a Glock in its entirety. I want to talk about what broke. And this is 9 times out of 10 the stuff that fails on these things. So in class, we see stuff all the time. I'm exposed to tens of thousands of rounds a month getting discharged in training. That doesn't make me anybody. It just means, hey, I'm seeing this. It's like if you work at a car dealership and you look at Chevy trucks or you know, whatever car all day long, you're going to know what happens a lot to them when they come in for service. Oftentimes, recoil spring, #1 culprit with these firearms, and it's just because you don't think about it. It works until it doesn't, and it is oftentimes slow decline. And sometimes the symptoms might be so minute you don't see it, or you blame it on the wrong thing. Oh, I got a failure to fire. That's probably just one bad round out of 1,000. Well, as that starts creeping up and happening, could you have a bad box of ammo? Of course. How do you know? Feed it through a reliable firearm and you'll know what's up. But too often we are not just maintaining these parts before they break. So, you know, not being a foolish guy, I'm not going to order just one because I've got more than one of these little pistols. Order a few. We've got walls of parts like this, but I just happen to not have the stuff on hand for the 48. Now I've got extra. The stuff will be with me, and I now have video evidence of the day that the parts went in on all of this. How do you know how much you've used them? Where do I have it? Right here is a notebook. I don't need to grab it to show you. Take a notebook, throw it in your range bag, and just write down. Today's the 15th of January, 2026, range day with my Glock 48. If you want to be really studious about it, write down the serial number or the last 4 of the serial number so you know what it is. Fired 100 rounds, 50 rounds, 10 magazines, whatever way you want to write it down. And if you want to really help yourself, write the total, 100 rounds, 500 rounds, put a circle around it, and you can tally those things up. When you know you start getting in the 3,000-4,000 round range, hey, If you haven't already ordered the stuff, get the parts coming to you because you know. Then don't wait to be stranded on the side of the road with your bald tires or broken brakes or whatever the thing is. You've done the work beforehand. Shame on me, as I told you in the video, which is linked in the description. I let the thing wear out. I got busy. I thought it was worth sharing with you. Maintain your stuff if the stuff is there to support you and keep you alive on your worst day. And please do check out Ignis Lux Coffee. I'm wearing one of our shirts. It says damn fine coffee because it is. We roast it, we package it, we ship it, we source it, all for you. It is roasted with care and love right here. We've got Bob's Hot Rod Blend. This is our daily drinking coffee. Awesome stuff. And then we've got a light, a medium, a dark, and an extra dark roast. And occasionally we do some specialty blends if we buy some cool beans. Ignis Lux is Latin for firelight. Also, check out Gunfighter Gun Oil. We make this stuff for you to keep your guns super slick, super rust-free, and all the good stuff that lube should do. Made in the USA. We've also got a grease and a cleaner. Check out my good friends at Supervel Ammunition. I've said it for years, man. They've been around since the 60s. They have created and invented the jacketed hollow point back in the day, and they are still innovating with really cool stuff today. Our long-range 223 round from them is unbelievably accurate. And then take a peek at my friends at Securit Gun Storage or SecuritTactical.com. Either of those will get you there. They make a lot of cool storage solutions for the stuff that matters to you that you don't want the wrong hands to get on. SecuritGunStorage.com. CarryTrainer.com to see us at class. Love you.
Oh, hey,